Imagine standing in one of the harshest deserts on Earth. The temperature pushes past 45 degrees Celsius. Rain may not fall for months. Fresh water is almost non-existent. Nothing grows without human intervention. For thousands of years, this coastline was little more than endless sand stretching toward the horizon. No skyscrapers, no highways, no artificial islands, no indoor ski resorts, no city skyline. Only dunes and a handful of fishing villages surviving between the Persian Gulf and an unforgiving desert. Yet today, this very landscape is home to the world's tallest building, some of the busiest airports on Earth, palm-shaped islands visible from space, autonomous metro systems, luxury hotels rising directly from the sea, and a skyline that seems more like science fiction than reality. So how did one of the world's most extreme environments become one of its most recognizable cities? The answer isn't simply oil. In fact, oil is only a small chapter in a much larger story. Because Dubai wasn't built by luck. It was engineered. One impossible project after another. Long before glass towers reflected the desert sun, Dubai looked almost nothing like the city we know today. For centuries, the settlement existed because of one narrow inlet, Dubai Creek. This natural waterway carved into the coastline became the lifeline of the region. Wooden dhows sailed between Persia, India, East Africa, and Arabia, carrying pearls, spices, textiles, and dates. Merchants arrived from every direction, not because Dubai was rich, but because it sat at the crossroads of trade. Life here remained remarkably simple. Families built homes from coral stone, gypsum, and palm fronds. Wind towers captured the slightest breeze, cooling homes long before electricity existed. Water was precious. Every drop mattered. Survival depended on understanding the desert rather than trying to conquer it. During the summer, pearl divers spent months at sea searching for oysters by hand. It was dangerous work. Many never returned. But pearls became Dubai's first real economy. Then, everything changed. In the 1930s, Japan perfected cultured pearls. Within just a few years, demand for natural pearls collapsed overnight. Dubai's economy nearly disappeared overnight. For many cities, that would have been the end. Instead, it became the beginning.
In 1966, engineers drilling beneath the desert made a discovery that transformed Dubai forever: oil. Compared to neighboring Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, Dubai's reserves were relatively modest, enough to create opportunity, but not enough to guarantee long-term wealth. The ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, understood something many leaders did not. Oil would eventually run out. If Dubai depended entirely on petroleum, its future would disappear alongside it. So instead of spending oil money on short-term luxury, he invested it into infrastructure. Roads, ports, electricity, airports, schools, hospitals. Every barrel of oil was treated as fuel, not for cars, but for building an entirely new economy. It was one of the boldest long-term decisions any city had ever made. While others exported oil, Dubai invested in becoming a place where the world would eventually come to do business. The desert itself was about to become the construction site for one of humanity's greatest engineering experiments. Constructing a modern city in the middle of the Arabian desert presented problems unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. The ground wasn't solid rock. Much of it consisted of loose sand. Buildings weighing hundreds of thousands of tons couldn't simply rest on the surface.
Engineers drove enormous reinforced concrete and steel piles deep beneath the dunes until they reached stronger geological layers. Some foundations extended dozens of meters underground. Every skyscraper began long before anything appeared above the sand. Then came another problem: heat. Summer temperatures regularly exceeded 45 degrees Celsius. Construction crews worked through dangerous conditions where machinery overheated, concrete cured differently, and steel expanded under the relentless sun. Even ordinary roads faced extraordinary challenges. Asphalt softened, expansion damaged infrastructure. Materials had to be redesigned specifically for desert conditions. But perhaps the greatest challenge wasn't building upward. It was creating the water that made the city possible.
For thousands of years, the greatest limit to life in Dubai wasn't space, it wasn't money, it was water. The surrounding sea was everywhere, yet almost none of it was drinkable. Rainfall averaged only a few days each year. There were no great rivers, no mountain reservoirs, no natural lakes. Without fresh water, Dubai could never become a major city. So engineers decided to do something extraordinary. Instead of searching for water, they would manufacture it. Along the coastline, enormous desalination plants began turning seawater into fresh drinking water. Every hour, millions of liters of seawater entered massive industrial facilities. Salt was removed. Minerals were carefully balanced. The purified water was pumped through hundreds of kilometers of underground pipelines, supplying homes, hotels, hospitals, parks, and entire neighborhoods. The same desert that once struggled to support a few thousand people could now sustain millions. Even the trees lining Dubai's roads, the green parks, the fountains dancing beneath skyscrapers, and the famous golf courses surrounded by sand exist because water is continuously engineered into the city every single day. Dubai didn't discover an oasis, it built one. If constructing a city in the desert wasn't ambitious enough, Dubai decided to build something even more unbelievable: new land. Not by reclaiming marshes, not by filling shallow coastline, but by creating entirely new islands in the open sea. The Palm Jumeirah became one of the largest land reclamation projects ever attempted. From above, its shape resembles a giant palm tree stretching into the Persian Gulf. Creating it required an astonishing amount of material. More than 100 million cubic meters of sand were dredged from the seabed. Unlike traditional construction projects, very little concrete was used to create the island itself. Instead, specialized dredging ships sprayed millions of tons of sand with remarkable precision. Every curve of the palm, every frond, every protective crescent was positioned using satellite navigation accurate to just a few centimeters. Engineers then armored the outer breakwater with millions of tons of natural rock to absorb the relentless energy of the sea. What had once been open water became luxury neighborhoods, hotels, marinas, and beaches. An island that had never existed was now visible from space. As Dubai expanded across the desert, another competition quietly began, not outward, upward. In the early 2000s, one project emerged that would redefine the city's identity forever: the Burj Khalifa. Rising more than 800 meters into the sky, it became the tallest structure humanity has ever built. Constructing a building of that height demanded solutions never before attempted at such scale. Its massive foundation disappears deep beneath the desert. Its unique Y-shaped design reduces the force of powerful desert winds. Even the concrete had to be poured during the cooler hours of the night, so temperatures wouldn't weaken its strength before curing. Thousands of engineers, architects, construction workers, and specialists from around the world contributed to a structure that many believed could never be completed. The Burj Khalifa wasn't simply built to break records, it became a statement. Dubai intended to compete not with neighboring cities, but with the future itself. Today, millions of people see Dubai as a city of luxury. But beneath the glass towers, the artificial islands, and the record-breaking skyline lies something far more remarkable. A city that refused to accept the limits of its environment. A place where engineering replaced geography, where innovation replaced scarcity, and where one of Earth's harshest deserts became one of its most extraordinary urban landscapes. Dubai wasn't simply built in the desert, it transformed the desert itself. Would you choose to live in a city built in the middle of the desert? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy cinematic documentaries like this, consider subscribing for the next one.